Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Kirti Gupta from Bharati Vidyapith's IMED, and today we are going to discuss the topic of research report writing. To begin with, let us have a look at why research reports are important and what they are. What is a research report? Is it an essay or is it a document which will convey about the research? So, research report is nothing but a written document or oral presentation which is based on all the things that a researcher has done, all the activities covering the purpose, scope, objectives, hypothesis, methodology, findings, limitations, and recommendations of the project to others. It is a means of communication that can be understood, believed, trusted by everyone who are going to use this research results. Now, there are two types of research reports, technical and popular reports. Technical report is suitable for target audience of researchers, managers or other people who are familiar and who are interested in using the research results. Popular report is a more general audience targeted. It is only going to convey the findings of the research report. Now, let us have a look at the layout of a good research report. The layout of a research report consists of preliminary pages, main text, and end matter. These are the three main components of any research report. In detail, if you have a look, preliminary pages will consist of title page, certificates, acknowledgement, table of contents, list of tables, list of graphs, appendices, exhibits, and executive summary. Then you begin with the introduction, that is the main text. First chapter is introduction, and literature review is the second chapter. Third is research design, data analysis, results, limitations, conclusions, and recommendations. This is a very general format of any research report, and the format may vary from purpose to purpose. Let us have a look at how to go in detail with each one of them. Title page has to be very clearly made in the sense that it should clearly give the title of the project and the different the student's name, the guide's name, etc. And then later on you have the certificates. As per each institute, the certificates may differ. Table of contents should be very clearly made along with the title, the details and the page numbers. It's likewise the table of graphs, appendices, executive summary, etc. should be included. Now let us have a look at what is introduction. The first chapter, that is introduction. How should it be written? Now this is a very important chapter of any research, and this chapter should be written and again revised towards the end of the report writing. This chapter covers what and why of the study. A very important tip on writing introduction is it should be clearly discussing the title of your research. The title of the research should be discussed in the introduction, meaning it should cover that what all is involved in the title. Suppose the title says that you are talking about knowledge management by educational institutions. So it should cover what is knowledge management, how it is relevant to educational institutions, etc. And in the introduction, the very first sentence should not be dull. It should be very interesting. So the first sentence itself should catch the attention and the interest of the reader. Second is the methods chapter. Methods chapter should cover the research design and its rationale, and also the chapter on literature review, which is there before that. Literature review should be taking into account all the literature that the researcher has gone through to establish the relevance of the research conducted by him. Now talking about the method section, it should be clear with the methodology used, the variables defined, the sample, the population, etc. Analysis chapter refers to the data collected and analysis of the data, finding, suggestion, recommendation, limitations of the study and future research. Now one tip which needs to be looked into is what is there in the suggestions and recommendations. What are the suggestions and recommendations going to cover? Suggestions will cover all that which is a result of your study, which has come as a result of your study. During your course of studies, you have come across certain things and you want to make suggestion to the uh, readers, a suggestion to the organizations where the research has been conducted. Recommendations are something which are extension of suggestions or other than the suggestions. So suggestions are a must to be implemented or very important. Recommendations may be taken up as and when possible. Now, some more tips or details. The key information presented in the text of the research should be supported by tables, graphs, pictures, maps, and other visual devices. This is very important because a picture speaks more than 1,000 words. Now, how to write the tables, how to form the tables. Every table should have a number and also should be having a clear and brief title. The unit of measurement should be mentioned. Arrangement should be very logically done. And if necessary, comments, explanation should be given as a footnote. If table is based on secondary data, the sources must be cited clearly. Now coming to the last part, that is the precautions to be taken. This is very, very important. What precautions should be taken? The report should be long enough to cover everything and short enough to maintain the interest. Needless to say, there should be no grammatical errors. The style of writing should be concise, straightforward, and very professionally written. It should not be poetic or having a very floral language. Research is a very technical thing and it should be written in a very straightforward manner. Next is it should reflect originality and objectivity. You should avoid jargon and complex sentences. Research should present the methodology, results, conclusions very accurately. No exaggeration should be there. No emotional statement should be there. What is emotional statement? I feel that, researcher feels that, etc. Feelings have no place in a research work. So that should be avoided. Very importantly, avoid I, we, and my. It should always be, it was observed that, the researchers found that, the results indicate that, something like that. And lastly, the presentation should be professionally done on very good quality paper, typing, attractive binding. So these are some of the precautions that need to be taken while writing a good research report. Now, what are the steps? There are certain steps. If followed, then the research report will come out in a very nice form. First one is when you are conducting your research, that time itself, try to prepare an outline or the chapter scheme. Then you write down the rough draft. As and when you complete your studies, you collect the data, etc. Side by side, start writing each chapter. Then, after you complete the data analysis and complete the rough draft, rewrite it and polish it. Finally, add the bibliography, go through the plagiarism check, and then conduct the final draft. Keep away the draft for about 2-3 days, read it again thoroughly. You will yourself find that there are many suggestions. Now go for the final printing. Once you have done with the research report written part, you are supposed to present it maybe orally or using a PPT. So prepare your research report viva for the viva, defend your work, mention the papers that have been the result of the research work and publication details. So these are the details that should be taken care while writing a good research report. Thank you and all the best.